Summer's wrapping up, and life is picking back up. Early mornings, long days, and a to-do list that doesn't quit. And neither should you. Who has time to slow down due to body pain? That's why there's Aleve to keep you going. With just one pill, Aleve delivers longer-lasting body pain.
Testing. Dolby Cinema and IMAX offer premium yet different movie experiences. Dolby Cinema excels in superior picture contrast, vibrant colors, and immersive Dolby Atmos sound. With luxurious reclining seats, IMAX provides a massive screen with a taller aspect ratio for maximum visual immersion, typically using dual 4K or laser projection. Key differences: picture quality. Dolby Cinema uses dual laser projectors for incredible contrast and brightness, often considered better for color, while IMAX provides a larger, more expansive picture. Screen size. IMAX is known for its gigantic screens that fill your peripheral vision, featuring 26% more screen real estate with a 1431 or 191 aspect ratio. Sound. Dolby Cinema utilizes Dolby Atmos for object-based 3D surround sound. IMAX features a proprietary, powerful, and deep audio system designed to be felt. Comfort. Dolby Cinema almost always features plush recliner seats. Most digital IMAX theaters have standard rocker seats, though some are upgrading. Let's go. Dolby Cinema projects better images with 500 times higher contrast ratio and 4 times more resolution than IMAX. On the other hand, IMAX uses 40% larger screens and a 26% taller aspect ratio as compared. Spring might mean fresh flowers and longer days, but it also means more reasons to pop outside. Mailbox runs turn into neighborhood laps, quick errands, somehow require 3 trips to the car, and a brief step out onto the patio turns into watching the sunset with a drink in hand. With all that in and out energy, you need a pair of shoes that can keep up without laces, fuss, or even fully bending down. That's why the timeless slides at Nike are a warm weather essential. Right now, these slip-on sandals are on sale for $30, marked down from the original $37 price. The discount, which appears when you add the pair to your cart, makes them an easy wardrobe adding for spring, especially if you've been meaning to upgrade your house shoes or grab a reliable pair for travel post-workout recovery. Keep going. His room not on. Let me find something. Read a poem or Poems, poems, it's loud. Poems about March often capture the transition from winter to spring, focusing on themes of wind, early blossoms, and renewal. Key works include Emily Dickinson's Welcoming Dear March Come In, and It Winds March, which describes the month as an eager, windy child, and Laurie Hill's In Like a Lion, Out Like a Lamb. Here are a few notable poems on March. Dear March Come In by Emily Dickinson. This poem treats the month as a welcome, slightly breathless visitor, bringing birds and changing colors. Notes the Academy of American Poets. All right, just trying to find something to read. Some of the most iconic and best movie speeches include William Wallace's freedom of speech in Braveheart, Gordon Gekko's Greed is Good monologue in Wall Street, and Rocky Balboa's advice to his son. These powerful moments, often focusing on resilience, freedom, or ambition, are considered classics for their delivery and impact. Braveheart, 1995. William Wallace challenges Scottish soldiers to fight for freedom rather than run, shouting, "They may take our lives, but they never take our freedom." Wall Street, 1987. Gordon Gekko delivers his famous Greed, for lack of a better word, is good speech. Rocky Balboa, 2006. Rocky speaks to his son about life's hardships. It ain't about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. Shawshank Redemption, 1994. Andy Dufresne speaks on hope. Get busy living or get busy dying. Independence Day, 1996. President Whitmore gives a rousing speech before a final aerial battle. Today we celebrate our Independence Day. The Great Dictator, 1940. Charlie Chaplin's final speech calling for humanity, democracy, and compassion. On the Waterfront, 1954. Terry Malloy tells his brother, "I could have been a contender." Coach Carter, 2005. Ken Carter delivers a powerful message about fear and personal power. Miracle, 2004. Herb Brooks inspires the U.S. Olympic hockey team. Great moments are born from great opportunity. Barbie, 2023. Gloria shares a monologue about the impossible, contradictory standards women face. This video features some of the most inspirational movie speeches of all time. These speeches are frequently highlighted for their motivational, dramatic, or thematic significance in cinema. In times of trouble, you need a little help. In times of trouble, you need a little help getting up and going, and film can often provide just that. Cinema has a long and storied history of providing great words of motivation and encouragement, sometimes for the character's own benefit and occasionally to the audience. Here, we've chosen 30 of the best that should fit almost any occasion. But if you're really pressed for time, here are the 40 condensed in a 2-minute span. If you have a little longer, read on. The Great Dictator. Made at a time when the shadow of World War II was looming over Europe. Charlie Chaplin's speech here. He's playing a poor Jewish barber in disguise as a preening dictator and forced to address a Nuremberg style rally. Is a heartfelt plea for sanity and compassion in a time of madness. It's the perfect antidote to extremism and uses fiery rhetoric for good. If only we be able to pull this switcheroo in real life. Independence Day. Sure, there are cheesemongers with less cheese on offer than you. Excuse me. Sure, there are cheesemongers with less cheese on offer than you see here. And okay, the American jing, I don't know what that is, doesn't work at all for those of us not a Yank disposition. But Bill Pullman's slightly sheepish style blends here with steely determination, and he delivers the American St. Crispin's Day speech with conviction. Then, like any U.S. president, he leaps into his fighter jet and flies off to battle aliens. Gladiator. For those who prefer a little humor in their motivational speeches, try the pitch black streak in this opener, establishing Russell Crowe's Maximus Decimus Meridius as a leader of men and a hell of a guy, galloping around the legions in his cool armor and fur-linked cloak. You might question whether he really needs an entire army to back him up, but you'll never doubt for a moment that they choose to follow him as he unleashes any given Sunday. There's a lot to be said for a little personal touch to leaving your high-flung rhetoric. And it's a trick that Al Pacino uses well here. In the first of 3 American football speeches, we're going to include, hey, we can't help it if the heavily padded sport produces some great pep talks. Pacino's troubled Tony D'Amato unveils his own problems with brutal honesty before using his own failures as a spur to rev on his team to greatness. Speaking of team spirit and commitment as someone who has been known to suck at both. Friday Night Lights. The film has been somewhat overshadowed nowadays by the equally good TV show that followed it. But watch Billy Bob Thornton here and be reminded that Kyle Chandler isn't the only fundamentally decent man who can inspire a team of small-town boys to great efforts in pursuit of perfection. It's also worth noting that he puts his emphasis here on excelling and not winning, making it clear that victory isn't only measured by the scoreboard. Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Rudy. This is a little-known film in the UK, but is revered in certain communities in the U.S. It's revered in certain communities in the U.S. Sean Astin's Rudy has overcome dyslexia, poor grades, and his relatively small stature to win a place on Notre Dame's famous Fighting Irish American football team. Only problem is that he's never been off the bench, and with his final game approaching, he threatens to quit the team if he isn't allowed to play, prompting this inspirational speech, telling off from a friend who points out that he's being whiny and entitled and needs to grow up here. Soon, he's back on the bench and giving a starting position when his entire team threatens not to play unless he's given a shot. Troy. An honorable mention for Hector's pep talk, but Achilles wins the battle of the inspirational speeches, just as he wins their duel. Come on, that's not a spoiler. It's the 2,000-year-old. This is a short snippet, but then godlike Achilles, the man killer, is a man of action rather than words. And what he does say, focusing on lions, glory, and the manifold abilities of his small hand-picked group of Myrmidons, will convince a rock to fight any Trojan who dared to oppose it. Am I still reading? The Shawshank Redemption. A quiet moment between Tim Robbins, Andy Dufresne, and Morgan Freeman's Red became one of the more memorable moments in Shawshank, a movie with no shortage of them.